Just remember this. If all of the dogs in the country suddenly get a weird disease, it might just be done by the government. What up, my name is welcome back to NimTV. I'm your host, ImageUp2299, and we're back with another movie review. This time I saw Isle of Dogs. Finally! I know it's a little late, but the reason why I didn't see it initially is because it wasn't actually playing in my theater for the first few weeks for some reason. I don't know why. It kinda sucks. But yeah, so I just got done seeing it, and I enjoyed it. It was a decent movie, directed by Wes Anderson. It is a stop-motion film, actually. The second one Wes Anderson ever directed, apparently. I haven't seen the first, which is Something Mr. Fox. I forget the exact title. I haven't seen it. Apparently this one is better. The other one was okay, but this one's even better, apparently. That's what I've heard. And I did like it. So basically, the basic story is, in Japan, all the dogs gained some sort of disease, and in order to, get rid of the disease, they have made it law that all the dogs must be banished to an island called Trash Island, which is basically where they take all the trash, obviously. And that is then known as the Isle of Dogs, because that's where all the dogs are, obviously. And basically what happens is there's a group of dogs who live on this island who find a young boy who crash lands an airplane there, and he's trying to find his lost dog Spots. And they help him out finding him. And that is the best part of the movie. The rest of it deals with some interesting things where there's like somebody trying to figure out a government conspiracy about, did they purposely, give the dogs these disease, and like there's this whole conspiracy thing behind it where the government is trying to purposely eradicate dogs for whatever evil purposes they have. That was okay, but I didn't find it nearly as compelling as the stuff that happened actually on the island with the dogs and the kid. Those are the best moments, because those are the characters you really spend time to get to know. The other characters that it goes to on the island are like, yeah, it's there, it serves the plot. Like, it's not like they're unneeded for the movie, or it feels like it's shoehorned in or anything. Like, they add context, which kind of adds to the overall story, but at the same time, it just isn't as interesting. But it's not horrible, and also there were some, like, flashback scenes that I felt were a little too overdone in a few spots that kind of was like, okay, took me out of the story for a little bit. But overall, if you can kind of look past some of that stuff and get to the meat of the story, which is this group of dogs, and the kid, that part was pretty compelling. I liked sort of the relationship he has with the dogs. They can't understand each other because they're dogs and he's a kid. Japanese, actually all the people in this speak their native language, so all the Japanese people in this speak Japanese, and there's one American character who's like a foreign exchange student from America. The reason why they specifically did that is so they could have an English-speaking character. So, like, sometimes they have to have this thing where, like, they'll have a translator there because, like, it's on a news broadcast, so they need a translator, so they have an English translator. I feel like subtitles might have been a better idea, or just doing it all in English. I feel like it didn't gain anything necessarily in making sure that it's all in that language. Like, sure, you can have a version of it that's in Japanese. I don't know. I feel like it might have helped it a little bit if it was in English. But I mean, I don't think it really hurts the film a lot. Still, the best part of it is, the relationship between the kid and the dogs, especially the leader of the dogs called Chief. At first he doesn't like him because Chief was a stray dog and he doesn't like people, but then they slowly grow to love each other by the end of the movie. That was nice and touching. But one thing I will say is amazing with this movie, that I absolutely loved every second of it, was the cinematography. Great, and I understand, like, it's maybe more difficult with stop motion like this. And another thing, the stop motion was really good, and probably took a lot of painstaking hours to get it to be like it was, as good as it was. And I really appreciate when that kind of effort is put into a film, when it's seen as, it's not seen as, this is just a stop motion movie, therefore it's a lesser art form than live action, so we're not going to put as much effort into it, and we're going to just... But then again, it's technically not a kids movie. I wouldn't consider it a kids movie. I mean, some kids might kind of enjoy it, but I feel like it's more of a younger adult/adult movie. Not that it's like not, family friendly necessarily, but that it's just younger people might not enjoy it as much. That's what I will say. But yes, again, cinematography was great. Every shot is composed really well. Wes Anderson knows what he's doing. A lot of really good shots of like symmetry, and it was really, no matter what, I enjoyed the visual experience of it. And you know what? That's fine by me. That was really good. I liked that a lot. So yeah, overall, that's really all I have to say. It was a pretty good movie. There was some scenes that kind of I felt were more boring than others. Whenever it cut to the whole, going back to the mainland where they were talking about the conspiracy theories and all that stuff was like, it's okay, but not great. But, again, whenever it went to the island with the dogs, it was great. And also there was a few flashback scenes, which I felt were kind of, not needed. But overall, good movie. Go see it. I think it's worth a watch. Let me know what you think in the comments. That's really all I have to say about Isle of Dogs. Where does it rank with my other movies? Probably it's not as good as like Annihilation or A Quiet Place. I think it's just below that, so it's like just above like Black Panther, I think. I'm still iffy on that one. I'll think about that a little bit more. But anyways, yeah, that is about all for this video. So thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.
I greet the gents and ladies, I spoil loyal fans. I foil your plans and leave fluids leaking like oil pans. My coiled hands around this microphone are lethal. One thought in my cerebral is deeper than a jeep full of people. MCs are feeble, I came to cause some pandemonium. Battle a band of phony MCs, a stand-alone one. Imitator, intimidator, stimulator, simulator of data, eliminator. There's never been a greater since the burial of Jesus.